Good evening. All right, I was to start doing like candlelight. I don't know. It's just while it's dark, we're using the candlelight. All right, so we're gonna do another little deep dive. This time, consulted the tarot, and I asked them for a love story. So this one's kind of cute. We're gonna see how it unfolds. It's honestly, I thought it was gonna be more shadow aspects, but it's more cute. So it's like there's a sweetness, there's a fairy dragon energy. So we're gonna see what comes out. Okay, so the characters in this one are the Page of Swords and the Fool. So I'm trying to think of how to they're both foolish. Like they both have this naivety and this recklessness about them. Because this Page of Swords doesn't really use his emotion at all. He kind of takes that completely out of the equation. He doesn't really regard his intuition. So this story is just starting this way. It's not that he doesn't develop that later. It's just, this is the beginning of the love story. So he's in this, like, that is also the stalker. So it's sort of like he's watching the feminine, but he's just very youthful, very like doesn't want to think of the world as bad, like doesn't want to deal with that aspect of the world, like very in a little bit of immaturity, like he hasn't matured yet. It's not that, because he's an adventurer, so, and he's choosing love, so we're gonna see what happens. And then this Fool is just taking, not really looking where she's going. She's just taking leaps of faith and praying to the divine that they catch her and stuff. So both of these characters are they're choosing love. So they're divine. Let's just go with that. Well, they're divinely protected. They're choosing love. So, but yet they have a lot to learn. That's kind of what I'm getting. This is like the beginning of their learning, their knowledge in this life. So this is so interesting. But this is pairing with this, I think, is also guiding them, is this desire for purpose, because this Eight of Pentacles is overturned. So it's like they have this drive to find what they came here to do, and they're choosing love. They're like, I'm gonna let love guide me. I don't know what I'm doing, but here we go. I'm using the tools that I do have, kind of. So, and they're not like together. There might be, I'm not really getting a competitive energy either. I think they both have an independence about them. They both have, they're choosing love, but they don't know about the other person yet, is kind of what I'm getting. So let's keep going. So this is for both. They're giving that there's this damsel energy that might be I'm sure it is a learned behavior that's giving you this lack of it's giving you, because it's sort of like in that energy you're not in your power, so it's giving a lack of creativity. It's interesting though with the Six of Wands. So this is another thing that's guiding. So very interesting. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Let's keep with it. So this so this damsel energy, I think, it's a learned behavior, but I think it's something about that where there's the naivety is coming up again. there's a youthfulness about it that you kind of, I think it allows these characters to kind of like cope with the intensities that happen, and also keep it keeps them having, it helps them to have an open mind, to not just follow the beaten path. So that's another thing about these two energies. They very much have like they're that tomfoolery, or not necessarily tomfoolery, that there's a rebelliousness in both of these there's a rebelliousness in both of them. So that's kind of what's driving them to like choose love and choose this other way, even though they don't know where they're headed or what they're doing, or there's a lot of unknown. So this damsel energy, I think, is a fallback for the mishaps that happen or the struggles that happen, and there's this loneliness and there's this defeat. So I think that's the fallback in those instances, which is causing a it's just it's moment. Okay, thank you. It's momentarily stepping out of your power. It's like it's its own sort of surrender of like, I'm gonna fall into this damsel energy when I don't have power and I don't know what the next steps are, and I'm just gonna be in this it's not helplessness though. It's not so much a helplessness, because it's like you're not actually reaching out to anybody to save you, but you're sitting in that space and working through it. And there might be some self-loathing that's going on, because you don't have anything to attach to, and that's giving you this deep loneliness, and this deep feeling of defeat. But this is still leading you. This is so fascinating. This is leading you to the Six of Wands. So it's like, this is the way that these two people, they're very stubborn. They are these characters though, that the Fool and the Knight of Swords are both like naive and foolish, but also this very like self-driven character. Like they're they're on their own. There's nobody else with them. They don't have any money. They don't have so funny. They don't have any money. They've only got the clothes that are on their back, and this Knight of Swords doesn't even have a shirt. Page of Swords. So they're just trucking. They're just doing their thing. It's given like van life. Like like they just don't care about that. That's not what's important to them. It's like choosing love and learning as they go is like what's driving them. So they're falling into this feeling of helplessness, yet it still is putting them back on the horse in the Six of Wands. So it's like you're still able to persevere and find your bearings again, like when a cat falls but then lands on his feet. It's like you're still finding your bearings, and not giving up. This perseverance that these two have is okay. There's more on that on the lower elements. Okay. Okay. Interesting. Okay. So it's sort of like, because these two have chosen to take this journey on their own, and they just didn't know a lot of things. It's like, that's why I think it seems okay, interesting. It's both to them, and also to the universe, that there's a little bit of, there's no map. Even the universe is a little bit like, you guys could have had more of a plan. Like you kind of like chose to be a fish out of water out here. Like you're just swimming around and you don't know exactly where you're going, but you didn't really have a plan. So it's kind of interesting, because it's like the universe is sort of like, yeah, you're going to land in loneliness. You're going to land in helplessness because you don't have a direct path. And you keep having to like find this resolve that gets you back on your horse. And it's not that it's bad, because there's knowledge and there's experience and there's still purpose in all of it. It's just an interesting choice. So there is this emotional discontent that's happening, and like feeling like that, again, the powerlessness with the Chariot verse, but it's like, nonetheless, this is leading you to, it's sort of like this knowing as well that was inside you of like, I know there's all blueprint inside everyone. So it's like, you're like, I know there's a blueprint here. Like, I know I'm not just completely swimming out here alone and stuff. So it's like, it's leading you to this this camaraderie, this friendly energy, this it's giving joy. It's giving like very high vibrational. So it sort of is like, because you sat in this helplessness and this deep depression and loneliness, you found this incredible joy and just ability to celebrate life. So it's giving like very Hakuna Matata, like just being okay celebrating life, like the not needing it to be something grand. And it's kind of remarkable. It's like, also it's led to the star energy. It's led you to be able to shine your light. And let me look up really quick the Ace of Pentacles, just so I can see if I can get any of the other, because I think of Pentacles is first. Okay, so then it's sort of like this understanding too that the universe is still has been on your side all the time. Okay. Oh yeah, of course. So there's something about trust issues in this as well. So this recklessness, part of the reason that I think it's more, there's a complexity there, but there's part of the reason that these characters are reckless is because of a lack of trust. So there's like, they fall into this lack of faith in themselves and therefore the universe. So they fall into these moments of lack or despair or defeat, but it still is guiding them to this powerful high vibrational light, like this very fairy energy, this very ethereal energy, and this knowing that the universe is backing you with this Ace of Pentacles. So it's interesting because it's like the Ace of Pentacles is also like, he's just cradling this pentacle and it's just one. But to me, it's like the whole. So it's like, you know that you're always supported and there's always abundance. Even if you've been down to like the extremes of the opposite ends of that. So it's giving a very like detached energy of like not having to have resources. Like I had to figure it out as you went because we don't have Pentacle. There's not a lot of cups. Well, the cups are mostly overturned. There's not a lot of Pentacles out here. So like what you had to take with you, what you had to get through this was not that much. So you really had to pull from this kind of inner willpower, this inner resource, this inner resolve that has given you this powerful like light and this it's almost like because you went through that, now part of the coming together of these two is to bring this Three of Cups to the world. So it's like you want to bring this in this Four of Wands, helping other people understand that every moment is a celebration. Like just celebrate who's around you. Like every moment is precious because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like, the Tower's not out here, but, it's kind of like these two jumped into the deep end, not knowing what the hell they were doing. And, yet they knew that they had to, it was like they had to choose love. They're like, I have to choose love. I have to choose my soul's path, even if it's reckless, even if I don't know what I'm going to have to go with me. I don't have any security. And then it kind of led you to this, it was like this desire for this, this surprise treasure. Like, you're like, I don't really know what's going to be on the other side of the rainbow, but I'm going to go in anyway. I'm going to jump in and uncover it anyway. And it came out as, this I'm tired now. This feeling of abundance with this connection to the universe again, and this abundant energy and this friendliness and this celebration. So it sort of is like these two wanted to experience the opposite of what it's like to like not have these things, and then connect to them again. This is so cool. Connect to them again in like a high vibrational way to like also bring it to the world, like to learn this healthy way of having connection and celebration and leadership. And it's giving like Hobbit energy. I don't know why. It's giving Lord of the Rings. It's giving me Lord of the Rings so hard. Because that's a very much like mystical type of journey that like, I don't know. So it's also interesting because it's like these two were driven by a purpose, but it wasn't about money. It wasn't about wealth. It's not about this immense legacy. It's not even about any of that. It's just about happiness and celebrating life. So it's like, it's not even this huge thing that they wanted to accomplish in this lifetime. It's just, it's giving a hippie kind of energy. That's why I said van life. And, you know, really desiring like peace, and like it's giving, you know, like being able to have that harmony, that flow with other people with that 3 of Cups. I feel that. So really wanting to find, oh my gosh, that Trolls movie. I love that movie so much. It makes me think of that. It's like wanting to find your soul tribe. Like that being like what's really guiding you, and not, you know, wanting to, so it's interesting because I don't really have anything about them coming together at the end, but it still is a love story because it's finding your way and finding what you came here to do. So yeah, we'll end it there and we'll see if more comes out about that.